very warm welcome to all the webinar attendees and our participants. As you are aware that we have launched Mission for Advancement in High Impact Areas on Development of Medical Technology. It is called MedTech Mission. And we have 3 leaders from Anusandhan National Research Foundation, Indian Council of Medical Research, and Gates Foundation joining in this very unique collaborative MedTech Mission. And the call was opened on 15th of September 2025. And we are looking forward to your applications that will shape the future of MedTech in India. Today, we will have introductions by the 3 leaders who will be sharing their visions and objectives regarding the mission. And also, we will have an overview of the scheme, a walkthrough for the call for proposal for concept note submission, as well as followed by response to your queries that you are requested to put in the chat box or the QA session. And now I hand over to Dr. Thangaraju to conduct the next segment. Dr. Thangaraju, please.
You're on mute.
Good morning, and I welcome all for the first webinar on MedTech Mission. I request Dr. Shivakumar Kalyanaraman, CEO, Anusandhan National Research Foundation, to give an introduction about the program.
Morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
First, welcome to everyone, and a huge thank you to my colleagues in ICMR and the Gates Foundation, and all the folks who have worked to make this program where it is right now. And we hope that this will be an important milestone and a successful program. So I was saying that this class of programs called Mission Mode programs are an initiative of Anusandhan National Research Foundation in partnership with our colleagues in the ministries. And welcome Dr. Rajiv Bahel as well into this meeting. And beyond government, with non-governmental partners. So this class of programs is a great example of how we can have a combination of focus in specific vertical sectoral areas that are super important for the country to drive Anusandhan, which is innovation, research, and especially help India accumulate the technological know-how, prowess, and importantly, serve as an accelerator in our journey towards being a product nation. So that's the general intent of these programs. These programs are also going to support larger levels of funding compared to our regular programs, which are meant for more earlier stage work. And the other aspects of ANRF more broadly as a statutory body of the government of India, and responsible for research funding across sectors, across areas. We intend to be a catalyst in the emergence of India as a research and innovation powerhouse. We are just getting started. Picture abhi baki hai, and this is the first step in our journey with various mission mode programs. And I'm so pleased to see this specific program take off. Of course, my colleagues will brief on the more detailed aspects of this program, but I just wanted to give you all a warm welcome and give you a top-level understanding. Our goal through these various mission mode programs is to cover various sectors that are of importance. Typically, these will involve some aspects of deep tech, some aspect of the journey towards being a product nation, and it will also support technologies that are not at the extremely early stage, but maybe TRL 2 or 3 plus, and then take them further. This particular program, I believe, is targeting TRL 3, if I'm not mistaken. And then the goal is to drive that, collaboration through the Valley of Death. We also would like to see this program drive interdisciplinary collaboration between medicine and technology, between the engineers, the scientists, the doctors, the hospital, the clinical researchers, clinical staff, as well as startups and industry. So a broader goal in ANRF is to help drive collaboration as well. With that, I'll hand it over to Dr. Rajiv.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir. I request Dr. Rajiv Bahl, Secretary, Department of Health and DG ICMR, to set tone for introducing the subject.
Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Shiv Kumar, for giving most of the details or most of the overview of this particular mission. I'll just add 2 sentences or 3 that for me, the aim of this mission is to create indigenous technologies within India, whether these are devices, diagnostics, or other medical technologies, but mostly focused on devices and diagnostics, which will improve health of our people and make us Atmanirbhar. And here we are very happy and delighted to be in this joint action with ANRF as their our program aligned to theirs, and being one mission, part of the same mission. The Indian Council of Medical Research as well as the Gates Foundation. And we believe that this partnership that Dr. Shiv talked about between the bioengineering and in medicine is very, very important, both to decide what we are going to develop, why is it important, but also equally important because we have to evaluate many of these things in either laboratory or clinical setting. Then it's extremely important for the 2 groups to continue to work together if we want eventually a product to see the light of the day, to reach the people it is intended to reach. So, as Shiv pointed out, we will start with what are the fruits of research that have already been conducted, either paid by the government, by international organizations, or by the industry itself. Something that already has reached proof of concept stage. And the idea here is to take those products through to commercialization, and not only stop at commercialization, but take them through to procurement and use in programs, both public and private. Thank you very much. And we are very happy to be part of it.
Thank you, sir. And now I welcome Dr. Harish Iyer, Director Health R&D and Digital Innovations, AI from Gates Foundation, to brief about the program.
Thank you, Dr. Tangaraju. Thank you very much, Dr. Shiv Kumar and Dr. Behel. It's indeed a privilege to partner with the Anusandhan National Research Foundation and ICMR on this very important program, which is very, very aligned with how the Gates Foundation looks at innovations as a key way to deliver public health impact. We have supported BIRAC in the past in funding similar projects, and we're really happy to see this wonderful initiative by both joining along with ANRF and ICMR. We are excited to develop, as Dr. Behel and Dr. Shiv Kumar mentioned, innovations that will reach and hopefully impact underserved communities and underserved diseases, in particular diseases such as TB or even indications such as maternal and child health, where we are actively reaching towards our SDGs. In particular, we believe these innovations, when they come out of India, will be at reduced cost, high quality innovations at reduced cost, similar to what's been done in the pharmaceutical industry, recently in the diagnostics industry, where it allows large numbers of people to reach access to these devices. And we hope to look forward to continued collaboration. The MedTech Mission is a great opportunity for India to showcase and take the innovative lead on this very important field. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. To the benefit of the participants, I just give you some synopsis about the program. And this is a joint initiative of Anushandhan National Research Foundation, ICMR and Gates Foundation, with a total outlay of 750 crores for over 5 years. And it is intended to support 50 projects to a tune of 5 to 25 crores. And in real need basis, this cost may be high in the case-to-case basis. And the projects durations are 2 to 5 years, depending on the nature of the products they are intended to develop. Thank you to Dr. Taruna.
This is Dr. Taruna from ICMR to present you how ICMR is going to support the innovators beyond the funding in the MedTech Mission. The ICMR has launched certain very important schemes which are revolutionizing the ecosystem of innovation. And firstly, we provide you a patent support as well as a tech transfer support through Medical Innovations Patent Mitra. And all the cost for this whole exercise and support system is borne by ICMR. So we invite you all to utilize this facility that is being offered by ICMR. We have a MedTech Mitra scheme, which we launched on 25th of December, 2023 for hand-holding MedTech innovators for clinical evaluation, regulatory facilitation, and uptake of new products. This is a Niti Aayog ICMR CDSCO initiative, enabling the innovators to cross the valleys of death, and rightly coined by Dr. V.K. Paul that this is a highway to cross the valleys of death. We have clinical trial network across the country, which we call it as INTENT, Indian Clinical Trial Education Network, which is 75 sites across the country for phase 2 and phase 3. And we have a phase 1 network, first in human or the safety study network for 4 sites across the country, which is PGI, SRM Chennai, as well as we have 2 in Mumbai, ACTREC, as well as KEM Hospital. And we are assuring you a follow-on funding support with various schemes of ICMR, including the First in the World Challenge. And we also offer mentorship support to all our grantees. A wide range of entities are eligible across multiple stages of development, and we include the academic R&D institutions, hospitals and medical colleges, startups, MSMEs, medtech companies and non-profits, industry academia collaborations and inter-institutional collaborations are encouraged and will be given preference in the grant scheme selection. All entities must be able to demonstrate sufficient facilities and credentials to conduct genuine research and development, example, via DSIR certification. Technologies must have established proof of concept. As Dr. Shiv mentioned, they should be TRL 3 and above, and the TRL definitions will be available on our portal once the portal is live, hopefully within few days. And we are starting from this early stage of proof of concept, and you can submit your application anywhere you are from TRL 3 to TRL 8. The mission will support a wide range of medtech areas, and we will be, at this moment, we are focusing on innovative medical technologies, medical devices, which includes in vitro diagnostics as well. So it includes medical equipment, it includes implants and assistive devices, consumable and surgical tools, critical subcomponents of the medical devices or medical equipments, and software as medical device. At this moment, the therapeutics and vaccines is not our immediate focus for the current call and will be focused upon definitely in our subsequent calls. And the broader digital health applications that support wellness, lifestyle, or administrative activities are also out of the scope with this current call. Alignment with the national health priorities is very much encouraged. We are not limited to, though, the technologies that are aligned with India's national health priorities, and we welcome technologies that impact public health outcomes beyond those which are listed here. So we read out for your benefit: communicable diseases, tuberculosis, vector-borne disease, AMR, neglected tropical diseases, epidemic, and pandemic readiness. So it's a vast list and definitely will be available on our portal for cross-referencing. Non-communicable diseases includes cancer, mental health, ambulatory care. Women and child health and nutrition is another focus area for the call, which includes anemia, childhood malnutrition, neonatal care, maternal health, women's health, and reproductive health. We also cover acute ambulatory care, oral health, primary healthcare systems, AI in healthcare, and definitely cell and gene therapy, including that for rare genetic diseases. For direct financial support to private sector companies, MSMEs, and startups, the mission will prioritize technologies that impact communicable diseases, Section A, and women and child health and nutrition, Section C. Technologies that are aligned with national health priorities may be exempt from cost-sharing requirements that are otherwise a requirement whenever we are, selecting the industry partners. May I request Dr. Thangaraju to kindly take over this next segment? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Taruna. The funding is, in different ways we have planned throughout this project tenure. The funding is going to be on milestone linked funding. That means at every step which you are completing, the additional funds will be released or disbursed for the further steps. And there is no benefit sharing, grant, equity, or royalty sharing, or payback to any of these three organizations. However, we are expecting a 30% cost sharing by the private sector entities. Otherwise, it is 100% funding support for the academic, research institutions, startups, and projects addressing the national health priorities. And the IP ownership is going to be fully with the grantees and with the expectation that the benefits will reach the society at the lower cost. Next. Yeah. So the timelines and the evaluation process are summarized here, and the call for proposal has been already, for concept note has already been open, and it is expected to close by 31st October. And immediately after that, the concept notes will get evaluated, and shortlisted candidates will be invited for submission of full proposal. Please make sure that people who are submitting the concept note and getting shortlisted will only be allowed to submit the full proposals. And the expected timelines for submission of a full proposal is going to be December 2025. And we are in the process that the all evaluation processing and release of grants. And both the concept note and the full proposals are to be submitted through anrfonline.in. And the investigators who are already registered in our portal, they can directly log in and submit the proposals. And the concept note is going to be very simple format, and which is of having few questions and with the limited word counts, and you can easily go through. And it will be on 4 major aspects. One is a project and technology overview, where you have to introduce the subject in which you are going to work, and the second part is going to be the prior financial support you have received for the development of the basic concepts that has to be provided for the evaluation. And thirdly, development status, and at what stage the technology is there, and what is going to be achieved in this project, all to be covered in this. And finally, what is the expectation of funding for achieving the proposed target. These are the 4 major areas in which you are about to submit, about to answer about 20-25 questions, which are very small, and most of them are multiple choice kind of thing. You have to select appropriate options and then proceed further. It's all entirely online. And there is also multiple support resources available to guide the concept, call for proposals, concept note, and also the full proposal submissions. You can get application helpline and support. You can reach us through the mail IDs given here, and also you can reach the program officer, Dr. Pramod Prasad, for any. And we are also having the national health priorities list and detailed TRL guidelines for the people's benefit, so that you can easily understand what is our expectations and what need to be filled up in the application. Thank you. With this, I request Dr. Pramod to take over.
Okay, good morning to all the participants. I'm Dr. Pramod, working as Scientist E in Anusandhan National Research Foundation. I will just walk through the CFP concept note submission form. So as it is already mentioned by Dr. Tangaraju, that there will be 4 sections in which concept note has to be filled up. So in the first part, we have section A, the details about project technology, project of the technology overview. So it will have again 2 sections, basic details, and then there will be some write-up or the short responses will be required from the applicants. So under the basic details, so you'll be required to fill up the name and the intended use of technology, the PI affiliation and the collaborating team details, then whether you have DSIR certification, yes or no, then whether the device have a predicate, then TRL stages, then CEDESCO risk classification, then IP status, regulatory status, and alignment with the disease areas. So in the concept note that we have already put up in the website, there you will be having complete details about these multiple sections, and then this disease area classification, it will be there in the drop down menu. So you'll have to select the drop down menu. Section A, there will be some short responses will be there. Next page, please. So some short responses will be required, like the brief overview of the product or technology that you have, then rationale for the project, then innovative or what is innovative or novel about your proposal, then what is the market opportunity, then the projected sales price, expected impact on the public health, and then the potential to reduce the import dependency. So this will be the 2 parts under section A. The section B will you will be required to fill up 3 questions, like prior financial support. So this will include the total funding committed to the project till date, the top 5 major funding sources from where you have received the funds. So then the third section, in the section C, you will be required to provide details about the development status. So where there will be 3 questions and you need to provide the short responses about them. So the word limits are specified in the online portal. So the first will be verifiable outputs or achievements, then key technical, regulatory or scale up barriers. And then third one will be what are the critical milestones that you are plan for the project, and if any major challenges are anticipated in this. And in the last section, the section D, you'll be required to provide details about the support needed from this MedTech mission, and the total funding is required over the span of 5 years. And out of those 5 years, you'll need to, previous slide please. So in this, you'll have to provide the breakup of the requirement of funds under 3 categories like proof of concept, then validation for preclinical or clinical development, and commercial support. So these 3 breakup, you have to make sure that the support, the breakup of these 3 concept, proof of concept, validation, and commercialization total ups to the total funding required for the 5 years duration of the project. So these 4 details, and even these details are in the website, detailed word limits and all are available in the website, and you can go through them. And sorry, there was some network issue. So these 4 details we need to fill up, and the last date for submission is 31st of October. And now we can go for the question answer sessions about this.
Hello everyone. As I'm reading through the questions, I think multiple themes that are emerging. Number one, I think there was a question around, is the focus solely on innovations that deliver low-cost alternatives to imports, or is there also a focus on first-in-world, first-in-class innovations that can make India a global leader? Dr. Taruna, Dr. Thanga, would anyone want to respond to that?
Sure, Rohit. I think that question is important. As the 2 objectives of the mission state, we are encouraging both the Indian innovation completely, as well as those which are made in India, which are going to be, relevant import substitutions for us. So we would like to, give equal weightage to both. Thank you.
Then there are multiple questions on cost sharing. How would it be assessed? And I think there are questions on what kinds of applicants will bear cost sharing versus not. Maybe I think Mehak, if you can again project that slide, and Dr. Taruna, Dr. Thanga, if one of you can re-emphasize some of those points.
Dr. Shiv, you are willing to answer this question, or I will take up?
You should go ahead, Thanga.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
commenting behind the scenes.
Right. So the cost sharing is going to be for the private entities only, and 30% of the budget of private share to be shared. That means if the total, it is not going to be worked out on the total cost of the project, but what is the fund we are going to support to the private entity for which they have to share 30%.
And just to add to that, startups are exempted from this,
yes.
as well as, I think, to Dr. Thanga's point, academic institutions, research institutions, either if they are applying as a sole applicant, or even if they have some share as part of a collaborative, that share would not be subject to this cost sharing.
Correct.
Then I think the other theme is on the PI. Can one person act as multiple on the multiple projects? Can one individual act as a PI? Again, I would request one of you to please clarify.
Thank you, Rohit. We encourage multiple applications, absolutely no problems. If there are more than one innovation an innovator is involved in, they are welcome to submit more applications. However, selection process would ensure that one application per PI is selected, because we would like to enable them to focus on that high impact area. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think the only thing to add there would be an individual can act as a co-PI in one other project. That is the flexibility that we are giving. But as a PI, there can be one individual mapped to just one of the projects. I think then the other questions were, can entities apply for multiple projects? And I think this was discussed in a lot of detail, and we have gone ahead with the flexibility that it should be completely open for any number of projects, by whether it is a research or academic institution, whether it's a private sector organization or startups. Dr. Taruna, if you want to add more there.
No, I think the clarity is that they can submit any number of applications. We will just focus on which is the best one, which they can deliver to take forward. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think the related question was when we say collaborations, I think there are some collaborations that were highlighted. For example, it could be a collaboration between an academic institution and a company, but there were questions regarding can two startups or two large private sector organizations also come together as a collaborative while applying for this?
Absolutely, absolutely. Any kind of collaborations are most welcome, as long as they are complementary and expediting the development.
I think then beyond some of the categories, there were questions regarding whether incubators can be the primary applicant for this. They can come, I think, as a collaborative with, for example, the startups they have already been supporting. Would request one of you to again please clarify that.
Yeah, absolutely. We welcome all kinds of applications and all kinds of combinations. Absolutely no problem. And that's why the scheme is open to a wide range of applicants, and that is the uniqueness of the scheme.
Then I think the other area that has come up, I've seen multiple questions. There were around what do we consider as a medical device? I think there were questions around if there is a digital health platform. I couldn't get the exact use case, but I thought it is more for skilling of nurses. That was the example quoted. Can that be considered as a medical device? So I think that we had clarified in the slide that for medical devices, the CDESCO definition will be used, and any digital health application for administrative purposes, for skilling purposes, etc., unfortunately would not be allowed under this program. I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that.
That's perfect.
I think then there is a question specifically on the patent mitra and the patent support that is being provided. I think the exact question I'll just read out. Is it only for hospitals and government institutions and not for individuals and MSME? Can you please clarify?
Thank you, Rohit. At this moment, the scheme is open to ICMR supported grantees and ICMR institutions, as well as other government institutions if the request is coming for. However, when it was launched, we were given a mandate that this should be open to all Indians, including the industry. So if the applications are coming forward, we can take those approvals and take them forward.
Then I think there are more questions on how to form those collaborations. One of the question is an industry partner mandatory as part of the overall collaborative, or can just multiple academic institutions apply independently?
If the device development requires so, they can always collaborate among academic institutions, for example, IIT and AIIMS New Delhi. However, if they require an industry support, we will also be helping them to join with an appropriate partner. We can always help them after the call for proposal, full proposal before it is sent out. We will be guiding them.
Yeah. The other theme I'm seeing is of the international organizations. I think two kinds of questions. One, can they apply as the primary applicant? And second, can they be part of the overall collaborative?
Sorry, Rohit, I could not get your question because of some.
So international organizations, and there is a question whether they can apply as the primary applicant, and there is another question around if there are other entities that are acting as a primary applicant, can international organizations come as a partner to them?
International organizations can definitely partner. However, there will be no financial support going to any non-Indian entity.
Yeah, I think there are multiple questions regarding selection criteria. Maybe I think if one of you can shed some light on the kinds of criteria, because this is the concept note stage, and then there is a second stage where we'll be requesting all of you, some of you, which are the shortlisted ones for the full proposals. So if you can shed some light on what are the kind of criterias that will be used at this stage as well as the next stage, I think would be really helpful.
What kind of device they are developing, what kind of impact it is going to have on public health, and is it part of the national health priority? What is the innovation quotient of the medical device that is being developed, or how it is going to replace a high costing imported device. So all that is going to be part of this, besides those very uniform criteria that we look into any proposal, how well it is written, how well it is framed, and methodology, how well it is described, and of course the skill set of the PIs which are involved.
I think on documentations, I see a couple of questions. One was regarding DSIR certification, whether it is mandatory for startups to apply or not. Would request your clarification.
Definitely not mandatory. The only thing is, as I also mentioned when I was presenting on the slide, that DSIR certification is one way we can ensure that the research credentials are appropriate for financially supporting. This is taxpayers' money that we will be giving you for development of medical devices. So it is the onus on the granting agencies to ensure that it is going to the right and appropriate grantees. Thank you.
I think then there is a question on if we want to collaborate with a startup as a technology partner, does ICMR have startup ecosystem like Patent Mitra so that startup involvement becomes easy? I think what they are alluding, and I'm taking liberty to rephrase this, is if they, for example, in the partnership, they want a certain kind of capabilities from a startup and they have not identified that startup, would there be support from ICMR, ANRF, and Gates Foundation in helping identify those kind of startups or not?
Absolutely.
Okay.
As I mentioned, that ICMR system for MedTech Mitra will be helping them in finding right partners. We will be helping.
I think on the instrument of funding, again, there are questions whether it's a grant, debt, OCD, equity, or any combination. Dr. Thanga, I think if you want to take that, I think your explanation was quite helpful earlier.
Can you explain more? What is their requirement?
The question is, what is the instrument of funding? Is it a grant? Is it equity? Is it debt?
I can take the question here if you don't mind. This is a grant in aid, which is used as the instrument. It is not OCD, which is an optional convertible debenture. It is not a debt or any balance sheet instrument. Those instruments are usually going to be used in the RDI program, or Research Development and Innovation Program, which is a non-grant program. This is a purely grant in aid mission. Thanga, if you would like to add any further points.
Yeah, I think on the organizations, there are questions again on whether the not-for-profits are eligible, and we can clarify both as a primary applicant as well as one of the partner in the collaborative.
Yes, they are. They are.
I think then there are questions on what can this funding be used for. I see two specific things on the chat box. One was regarding international patents and applying for that. Can that cost be funded through this program or not? And then I think there were also a separate question on compensation of the team, where the comment was that in many other programs, there are hard restrictions on how much can the founders or some of the leadership team can be compensated if you are leveraging funding from the government program. So on both of those, would request your clarification.
Sure, Rohit. For the first one, the clarification, for the second one, I'll come first for the salary scales. So the salary scales at this moment, we have, put it as per the government norms, because this is a Government of India scheme. However, this, very specific, if manpower someone wants to hire, we will take this to our leaders and we will find out if we can give this leverage that they can hire special people with higher salary scales. What was the first question?
The first one was international patents and can the funding be
So
leveraged?
that was an easy one, because we said that ICMR is going to support you with all the cost being borne by ICMR. both for national and international patents, they need not put the cost into their budget.
I think also wanted to take this opportunity to highlight a couple of things. One, I think we are trying to answer as many as we can, but obviously we won't be, I see the numbers, we won't be able to answer all of them. So there are support channels in the form of emails that have been put on the website. I will encourage all of you, if you have further questions, you can keep sharing those questions and we'll be replying to them. Other than that, we are also trying if we can do more iterations of these webinars, where again we'll be taking more questions. I'll take a few more in the time that we have, but I
Also,
just want.
Rohit, sorry to interrupt you. I would like to mention that we will have an FAQ, which we have prepared, will be on the portal, which will be answering most of the questions. And today, Janvi has noted down all the questions that are there in the chat box. And we will include these responses in the FAQs that we put it on the portal. Yeah. Thank you.
I think there are questions on the current stage of the TRL stage of the application, where they are saying we are currently not at TRL 3, and even by October 31st, we won't get there. But in the next 3 to 4 months, we will get there. Can we assume that, and in the anticipation of that, can we still apply or not?
We, along with our leadership, had discussed this extensively, and we would like to encourage only those applicants who have already ready proof of concept.
I see a lot of questions on the documentation, Darpan ID, Udyam certification, etc. I think would be difficult to get into specificities. It all depends on the type of organization that you are. So as ma'am said, we'll be sharing a detailed list of FAQs which will have what is the kind of documentation required for the kinds of entity. And in case after that also you have some of these questions, then we have put on the chat box some of the avenues available in terms of sharing those questions. So please feel free to ask those. I think one very important question that we should take up is around whether this scheme is a one-time effort or there will be multiple iterations of this. I would request your clarification.
Thank you, Rohit. This is the first call of the at least three calls we have planned to roll out. So this is the first, which is focused on medical devices.
There are questions regarding the leadership structure for the project. We have mentioned a PI and a co-PI. I think there are questions on whether the co-PI is mandatory or can they just have PI and submit the project proposal.
It is up to them to decide on the team composition. If they really require a co-PI, and they can, but just for namesake, they don't want to bring anything complications in the system. If they really need an collaboration for which they will give an complementary technical expertise to the project, let them bring it. Otherwise, independent PAs can.
I think again, I'm seeing questions related to documentation required for the specific TRLs, as ma'am had said earlier. That will be included in the frequently asked questions document to say if you are at TRLX, what is the kind of documentation to validate that you have cleared that TRL. So that detailed list will be provided and we'll make it as unambiguous as possible. Again, I think will be difficult to explain some of that during this call. I think then there are overall questions on whether this recording would be available and whether the presentation can be shared later on.
We will share the presentation on the portal. We will share that.
I think those were the major themes. Janvi, Mehak, anything else that we need to address?
Several questions around international applicant eligibility. Can we just clarify in terms of the PI and the entity, what is the requirement for Indian citizenship or Indian registration?
Janvi, as we mentioned, that they being a partner to any of the Indian applicants is, welcome. However, directly, no funding will be going to a non-Indian entity.
So I think at the beginning, there were multiple questions on the application form. As we have said, I wanted to reiterate some of the points. The application form would be made live to all of you very shortly. We are targeting next week for making it live, and all of you who have joined this session and even those who could not will be notified when the application form is made live. That is one. Second, I think in terms of clarifications, we'll be doing another webinar of this nature next week. If you have further questions, if any other folks in your organizations want to join, please encourage them to join that one. And third is, I think on the overall timelines, we had said 31st October is the timeline for submission. As you would have seen, we have kept the form very crisp and we don't want unnecessary details that are not being used in the selection process. So it will be a short form and we'll request your support in terms of filling that out by 31st of October. We are working overall for this call with a very tight timeline. So I think the timeline extension we have discussed as a leadership is not possible. So would really request everyone, as and when the application form goes live, please start filling that and complete that by 31st October. And I think again to bring back, because there were some questions, this is a concept note stage where we are asking for a small submission to understand better that what is the project, where you are in the stage, what is the journey that is looking ahead. After this stage, there will be a shortlisting and there will be a full proposal that will be sought, and post that there will be final selections for funding. So just wanted to reiterate some of those points. I think from a questions perspective, Dr. Thanga, Dr. Taruna, I think we are good. If you wanted to share any closing remarks, would request you for that.
So
Thanga?
only thing I insist is we have updated the application format for the concept note, which you can the next week when the online portal is alive, you can easily fill up and submit the applications. And make sure that only people who have submitted the concept note will be allowed to submit the full proposal in case they get shortlisted. Pramod, you are muted.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, it's fine, ma'am. Okay with it. I wanted to add up that the TRL details and all, they're already as part of CFP that is put up in the website.
Yeah.
So all those details are there when it is put up there. Even all the FAQs will be there. So if most of the queries will be answered by going through those details. If at all there are any queries, then there are support lines. You can always reach to us.
And also, I think in one of the queries, it was asked whether it will be, portal boxes in which they need to fill up the information, or they can upload the full proposal the way they do it in many of the applications. So we will give both the opportunities. The supplementary information about their proof of concept can definitely be uploaded as a PDF on the portal. So that is what I wanted to clarify. And if everything is all right, and should we present a formal vote of thanks, Rohit and Janvi?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay, so I hand it over to my colleague, Dr. Harpreet Singh from ICMR, who would be presenting.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Taruna, madam. Actually, we are grateful to the three visionary leaders, Dr. Shiv, Dr. Rajiv Bahl, and Dr. Harish, for this initiative. And I am actually grateful for all the participants who have joined early in the morning on this day of festival. And as Rohit has already said, our helpline will be open at mahaMedTechMission@gmail.com. So many of the queries we have responded via chat, and rest we have taken note of. You can still share your queries or concern over the email, and we will be happy to respond. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.